Alright, this is going to be problem 511 real time. File, new. Of course you have to know where your things are, starting with the great template in the great template spot, which for me at home is on the K drive. JK. I guess it's basically not there. I'm looking for the K drive. Well, it's not there, so I go up one. Well, there it is on the K drive. It's where I keep all my templates. You're probably going to keep yours there as well. I'm going to go to the decimal feet, open it up, and I'm going to continue. Once again, you don't need to do this. Someone throws a template at you. This is obviously the old one. You don't need the box that people throw at you. It actually will start to throw you off. So turn on your keyboard if your keyboard is not yet turned on. That's a recurrent thing. I am going to grab this in a second. I'm going to erase it. So you can erase any number of ways. You can grab, you can do the delete right there. So I have deleted that out. I'm going to go to the model. Right? Remember about drafting the box bigger than the box you're supposed to draft? Well, that box could go on the view, but we could start, I guess, by just drawing our major circle here, which is a radius of 3. We probably should think about putting that starting here at 0, 0, and every now and then throw that third 0 in there with a radius of 3. Zoom extents. You're here. We want to start keeping things on the right layer, so that is going to be probably on the object layer. You can pull this down or just learn to start right-click. Go to properties. Yours is going to be a little bit different than mine. I'm going to change the layer, not the color. Change the layer to object. And now I've got my general. All right, I'm going to hit close there. Remember that very often, there it is, it goes away. If you make sure you have everything on and everything thawed when you start this. I've been living with that for a while. I need to change my template. So I've got that there. Now there's my box, which I don't want around. But I should put my box on layer view. And if you remember, that box feet turns out to be the same as the number of kilometers in a mile. So I can now go ahead and draft a box first at 1.62, 1, even though it's a little off. Now I can left click on that box, left click, spacebar, spacebar, 6 for 6 times. It's not going to quite make it, so we're going to go ahead in a second and make it twice as big. So that's 6 cross. I'm going to go left click, spacebar, spacebar twice. Now I have my box, and I can left click my box, left click spacebar, spacebar until I get to move. In this case, I can just move that around. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Once again, left click spacebar, I can move it around to where I need to be. Alright, now I have I've placed my thing center. It's a great idea to get your baselines in. The baselines are probably supposed to be on center line. So I'm going to make that center line. I'm going to take it. I can hit shift right click from the center. And I can arbitrarily, with my F8 on, take something up here. Remember that UCS icon? It's actually in the view, someplace in that one. UCS, you can turn off different UCS icons, but I just use UCS icon and then off. We don't need that around. Now you start thinking about what angles you need. So you left click, spacebar, C for copy, positive 45. That was one you needed. Left click on top, spacebar, C for minus 90. And up and down from the 90 you need 30. So you go left click, spacebar, all the way to get to rotate, C for copy, 30, and then you can say minus 30, and then you can say 180. And essentially right in that you have all of the circles that you're going to need to do what you need. Strong baselines, base points. There's a point 1.38 to the left. 1.38 to the left, there is a point with a circle of 0.75. And so amongst the things you can do is just offset 1.38 in the temporary. 1.38 which is where that is, and then you're going to draw a circle of a radius of 0.75. You remember you draw your circles down, but eventually you can just do circle, shift right click, the intersection there with a radius of 0.75. Once again, start to collect these things on the correct layer, so I'm going to go ahead and change that to the object layer. You don't want to accumulate too many things on a set of layers or colors that don't make any sense. The next circle, the internal one, had a diameter of 4.18. So you can type C and then D for diameter. The diameter is going to be, the center point is going to be the intersection or the center, and the diameter then is, you hit D at this point, the diameter is 4.18. Once again, we're drafting on the wrong layer, so immediately learn to get these things on the right layer. In that, you had that circle coming around, and in the end you could break it at this point. Remember, you break in a positive direction. Break in a positive direction, you can do fillet radius of 0.25, and in this case you start filling in maybe a little bit better than you otherwise might have when you do that. This circle comes all the way around and then eventually fillets in a blended curve in a radius of 1.13. Fillet radius 1.13. We'll see how that works, and it does, and you've kind of got that part already done. Now we'll see whether that is indeed correct, but in the end that outside piece is just an offset, and if you think about it, we can now draw a temporary line from the end point of here to the end point of that filleted circle, turning off your F8. There, extend, screw that. And that in force is going to show you where your blown dimension is. So when you offset through, again, these blended circles are going to have a point of tangency there, and so you see, and that is where that thing starts to get a little odd on you. So we're just going to go ahead and break that. We're going to hope that's going to be good, but we're going to list that and expect it's 2.04 when we're done. And it is, there it is, 2.04. All right, so we've got that kind of, we'll work the rest of that. Someplace you have a radius of 1.75 from this circle here. So circle from the intersection. Let's finally go ahead and get our layers correct. Go to the green here. Circle from the intersection of here. 1.75. In that we had a circle that's going to blend in with 1.25. We can extend. Screw that. Break. And we can fillet radius 1.25. Click this and this, and in this I'm going to hit a pause. Real time at home means you got to stop for your kids, so I'm going to hit a pause. All right, at this point we're going to go ahead and break. Obviously I'm a big breaker, break in a positive counterclockwise direction. At that point you can trim, and you've got that mostly done, that piece there. This one goes all the way through. The rest of what happens up on top here we're going to look at. Now we have that exterior dimension here of 3, and that's the center of a circle. That's 0.38 and then 0.88. So you're going to go ahead at these 2 points. You can draw a circle with a radius of 0.38. Circle radius of 0.38. Something's screwing up here. Circle. Center point is the intersection of that with a radius of 0.38, and then another circle with a radius of 0.88. Circle, intersection, 0.88. Now you start to see, well, this is going to be repeated, so you might as well go left click, left click, left click in the middle, spacebar, C for copy, and then take that copy over to the intersection here. Now you have to start knowing about cotangency and blended circles, but now if you go ahead and offset that major circle through the intersection there, the intersection of that, right, and actually as well through the intersection of that and through the intersection of that, you start to see what happens here, and that's, you can trim the major circle out here and here, and in fact even here. Click on that one and this one. Let's trim here and here and trim that one out. And it's not happening. So we'll try that out in a little bit here. So if we've trimmed this, hopefully this circle and this circle will trim that out. I got to stop and go to my next 20 minutes. Thanks for listening.